What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I'm your host, Matt Southwell, and joining me this week is Dan Gilbert and Ashley Dye.
Hi,
Matt.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, ready for a day of celebration?
Yeah, I know.
So it's been a good day and a good week. I'm very excited for today's show, even if that sounded really sarcastic. I'm sorry. I am quite tired. I've been playing quite a lot of GTA this week, so
just a bit.
Your guys' energy can carry me through.
Well, we'll do our best. I think we've both been busy with Far Cry ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's been a good week. But anyway, to anyone out there that doesn't know what the Game of the Week show is, it is three friends sitting around this table every Monday to discuss the latest news topics in the video game industry. We'll then talk about all of this week's game releases before deciding on what is our favourite game of the week. So moving straight on to the news and the big celebration while we have cakes there, which I must say,
happy birthday to
yeah,
that.
happy birthday to the Xbox One and PS4, and please don't ever sing again. Can you believe that we've already had these consoles for a year now?
It's crazy.
It's flown by.
It's flown. I mean, did you get yours on release day?
Yes.
Not on release day. It was about 3 weeks after.
Okay.
Well, I pre-ordered mine for release date, and then through good old Guernsey Post, it arrived about 3 days later.
Yeah, I luckily got my Xbox One on release day. The PS4 I got only this year, so I was quite late to the scene on that one. But it's been a very successful year for both consoles. PS4 obviously leading the way with 14 million in sales, almost. Well, they announced 13 and a half at Halloween, so they must be up to 14 now.
Yeah.
And Xbox One's basically on 10, so
But
that's a lot of units.
They're gaining, aren't they?
They are gaining, and I mean 10 million is still
very good.
Very
for
good.
A year.
Yeah, we only said last week or the week before in our show that Xbox had a bit of a pickup in sales, didn't they? Put a few deals on lately with a few exclusives as well. I think that's helped. So definitely catching the momentum.
So I'm going to ask you today then, basically, what's been your opinions of the consoles kind of 1 year in, and if there's anything you would have changed or you would like to see the companies implement, or more specifically, obviously in your case is Sony and PlayStation, because that is the console you have
for now.
So so yeah, how's it been? Do you regret your purchase at all?
Oh God,
No.
Not
in any way.
That's good, because I'm sure there are some people that probably feel like, on Sony's side, that there could have been maybe more games.
Yeah.
Like kind of exclusive Sony games.
There probably could have been more Sony exclusives, but I don't think you'd be complaining for the sake of complaining. I don't think there's anything to complain about.
I mean, we've talked about like the delays and stuff before, so don't want to go too much into it. But
no. This is a happy show today.
I at the end of the day, if the exclusives aren't there in the first year because they're being made better and being fixed
for the next year,
that's better to wait for. So I don't think that's a deal breaker in any shape or form.
I agree. What's the one thing then, Conan? What's the one thing you would change or you would like Sony to do to make it better? Like kind of obviously on the software side, is there anything?
For me personally, not so much. But I know like the one feature that I've seen a lot of people ask for is the ability to like put themselves as busy when they're doing things, so people can't message them or invite them to things, because it's a feature on the Xbox to be able to put yourself as busy so you're not interrupted while you're playing your games or whatever. Because
you can change turn all your settings off, can't you? But then you'd have to turn them back on again.
Yeah, if you want to be playing online,
you
need to be connected to the internet. That shows you as being online to your friends.
Yeah.
If you don't want your friends to see what you're doing, you have to turn your internet off. Therefore, you can't play half the stuff you want to do.
I mean, one thing I do like.
I mean, it's not a big thing to me, but.
Luckily, I don't really have any friends. So
exactly. my friends list is nearly empty, so it makes no difference to me.
It's nice to be able to see what people are playing, what your friends are playing as well. If you just go on, you see who's online, you can see what they're playing, what they're doing. Even if they're in Netflix or whatever, you can see that. I think there's still a lot more scope for the Sony PlayStation 4. I think in terms of apps, I think it probably you'll see that develop it over the next couple of years, I should think.
Strengthening.
I think so. It's got to pick up the pace there a bit because I whilst they're not sort of as focused as being a home entertainment system like maybe the Xbox is slightly more centered around.
Sure, yeah.
They probably will want to try and, I think, implement that over the coming
Yeah,
months.
they announced something called View, I believe, which is going to be helping them with like kind of TV and stuff. I don't know too much about it, but
I think it has to. You see there's a lot more apps now that we get on our phones, and it's the way of the world
all
now. So
connected and everything.
it's got to be moving that way. I think it's got to be.
That's a fair point. The only thing
I was going to say there's one other thing I really quite like, which I don't think there is the possibility to do, but with a PlayStation camera, being able to actually use it as party chat, you can actually talk and what have you.
Yeah.
But to actually have video feed whilst gaming.
That's
so you'd have like Skype basically.
Yeah.
But kind of
you've got Twitch, haven't you? Which will
Twitch
take your
broadcasts.
Feed, but as in that's what I mean.
Yeah, but not
you're
live.
not talking to
while
just
you're sat
people,
there playing.
Yeah.
You don't have the ability to have the video whilst playing a game.
Yeah. So you like to spy on your friends while they're playing then?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think it's handy sometimes to be able to. I think just have that. If you
I get what you
there.
mean, because it adds to that kind of the whole couch co-op idea.
Yeah.
If you're actually being able to be face-to-face talk as opposed to just the voice.
Yeah, you can. That way, your friend can see how angry you are at them when they fuck up. Basically.
Exactly.
I've got to give a shout out to my friend Craig. Does
he watch?
He does. I was chatting to him on Party Chat
Craig.
this morning, and he's playing Far Cry, as am I. And he possibly might get angrier at games than you do. In fact, he does get angrier at games than you do.
Okay.
He breaks controllers and things like that. So no, he was getting just so annoyed this morning at Far Cry doing the missions.
We've all been there.
And it would be nice on those occasions to be able to see
the
his
anger.
frustration, just for my comical value.
Just to improve.
Yeah.
That's cool. The one thing I just want to see on PS4, they've improved it slightly, but still to go a little bit better, is the ability to kind of sort your home screen a little bit more. So that I could have one section for games, and then I could scroll down, kind of like it had on the PS3.
Rather than across for everything, more vertical.
Just kind of, just increasing verticality as well as like the horizontal side. But that's the only thing that I really want. On Xbox it's really nice. You can pin things to your home screen, and then with a tap of the LB, you can then just see your favourite things all just in a list there.
To be honest, it should be. You should have the capability, I think, to just be able to sort things where you want them, or even sort games in the order that maybe you want them in preference, that you play them or whatever. I think at the moment you've got PlayStation Store, the most recent game you've played, and then you might have Internet Explorer.
It's sorted by order of last used. I think.
Is it 10 or 15? Most
I don't
recent?
know. It doesn't.
Yeah, and then
it doesn't really
like that.
your extras, but
So favourite game then, very quickly before we move on.
It is very early to say this. I mean, favourite game overall is probably going to be The Last of Us, I think. But no, I know.
You can't use that as a PS3 game.
I know. Right. So in terms of what I've played on the PS4,
okay.
But in terms of PS4 solely and exclusive, if we say, it's quite early. But I've got to say Far Cry 4.
Even though it's not exclusive either because it's on PS3.
Well, okay, it's not exclusive. But
I know what you mean. Though, it's kind of.
I've not played that many exclusives, to be honest. I mean, I've played.
That's fine.
One or two, and they've not been amazing. So,
Dan, for you?
In terms of the hours that I've stunk in, it's probably got to be NBA 2K14.
That was a released one.
That was a released game,
yeah.
And that's I've heard actually a lot of people have said that was better than this year's, almost in terms of.
Yeah, I don't really see this year's being any different massive improvement or anything. So I'd probably have to go for that at the moment because I'm still a little bit too early into Far Cry to commit to it as being the favourite.
Amazing.
It's good. It is good.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that, but it's just.
We'll talk about that later.
Well, just very quickly, I'm going to end this topic now and just say you're both wrong. For PS4, it's Infamous Second Son. So number 2 on our list.
I had forgotten Infamous.
Yeah.
Infamous was very, very
That's
good.
what I bought my PS4 for.
Infamous was very, very good.
And that is still, I think, the best game.
That was, actually, I loved Infamous.
But I'm slightly biased because I love Infamous anyway.
No, I do. Yeah. No, I had forgotten Infamous.
Right, number 2, we'll move on. But no more birthday celebrations, but happy birthday. And to another good year and onwards and upwards.
Yes.
Number 2 then, The Crew Ubisoft's open world racing game, is getting an open beta this week. From the 25th to the 27th, it will be available for anyone to play on Xbox One or PS4. So guys, it's a chance now to play the game before it comes out. Are you interested in this game?
I probably will. It is a game that I'm interested in buying, and I think it would be useful to get on the beta to see if it is definitely something I want to get. I know you had a few comments earlier off camera.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it so far. Like I got invited to the closed beta, and the idea of the game is great. It's all of America, which is impressive, but just the handling wasn't that great. And for me, handling is key for a racing game. But I had been playing Forza for about 30 hours, so it was difficult to.
It is going to be
switch.
a transition. I think, from what I read, I think the map is bigger than the combination of. What 3 games was it?
It's huge. It's like all of America. It's not all of America, but
it's enormous.
It takes like hours to drive from one side to the other.
Yeah, it was bigger than like 4 or 5 times the size of the GTA map. It's insanely big,
which is impressive. We should applaud them for that,
definitely.
Provided it works. But there you go. Have you got any interest in it, Dan? Or
to be honest, not as much, because I only want to really get one racing game, and I want it to be more of a pure racing game rather than what The Crew is, which is kind of that more being chased by the cops. It's like street racing.
A lot of people have called it.
It's that blend of I guess what Need for Speed.
Yeah,
became really.
You want it to be like a proper track racer, kind of. Maybe Project Cars is maybe more
something
to you
like that.
Perhaps.
Which
I would say I mean, Need for Speed. I didn't like it. Drive Club was good, but there were big issues in terms, and there still are issues.
Yeah, Happy's
okay.
happy.
Sorry. So Drive Club, whilst it's a great game, and if you're doing it just for campaign or story modes, it's great for that. It is. Drive Club is a good game for that. But I'm still looking for something that just is a little bit better. Project Cars or The Crew, maybe.
Yeah, The Crew. I mean, there is no reason for you to not try it, because remember, it is a beta. It's not the final product. So, but it will give you a good indication. And they're doing it so late. It's got to be purely just to make sure the servers work, because it is like a online connected game. So they've done a lot of betas, and hopefully this will help them kind of promote their game, or like 1 week before their release date.
Yes.
Right, number 3, Bloodborne, PS4's exclusive game coming next year. There's been new details announced. What a character called Gyula, I'm going with.
Gyula?
Gyula, it's Gyula. He's basically an old veteran hunter. Then you've got Canehurst Castle, which is a new venue, a frozen fortress, they describe it as, occupied by a noble family. Sounds very exciting.
Does sound exciting.
And then a new weapon, which is transforming cane, which is basically a normal walking cane, which doesn't sound that exciting. But then it can be converted into a bladed whip, which then sounds a lot more exciting.
It actually looks pretty impressive.
It does look,
it does look good. I mean, we spoke before, and you said it probably wouldn't be my sort of game, but looking at it and looking at more of the gameplay stuff. It might actually be something I would be interested in picking up and playing.
Yeah, it's got a lot of similarities to like Demon Souls and Dark Souls, which I know are kind of very very kind of what you might call hardcore RPG games.
Yeah,
like they're very hard, but this one looks maybe slightly closer to maybe being more in our category, because the action just looks a little bit more kind of fast paced and quick.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that's always used to turn me off RPGs was like turn-based attacking, because I always found that really. Yeah. It's just
like the Final Fantasy.
I could just never get into it. It's like, well, basically, okay, I'll stand here and you can attack me, and then I'll attack you and then you attack me. I never like that, but this looks. It looks really pretty from the trailers.
It does look good. It does look good. I think I'm going to probably look into it a bit more in terms of looking at some gameplay footage. Yeah. And again, timing. It all comes about timing as well. What other games we've got around the time, and whether it's if it's a bit of a lull in games for those 2 or 3 weeks, I probably will buy it.
Yeah. Well, it's March 24th US, March 27th in the UK. So that's luckily now they've moved it to be a month after PS4's other big exclusive, The Order.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So in March, it could be a good time for the game. There's a few games coming up.
Still in March,
but
yeah.
You know, it's one to look at. And more importantly, it's just good that the PS4 exclusives are coming. They are on the horizon.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had that many this year.
No, we've not.
Number 4, we'll move on. This is possibly some people have talked about being the game of the year for last 2013, or more specifically, the GOAT of the year.
Yeah.
Goat Simulator is getting an MMO update, which it's a free update for anyone that owns the game. And there's 5 different classes in this. Typical to MMO, you've got kind of like a warrior, a rogue, a hunter, a magician, and a microwave. And it is literally a microwave on legs.
It is.
There is a level cap as well at 101. So, but this game. Have either of you played it? It's a PC game. I don't have a PC game.
I've not played it, but I've seen plenty of it.
With it being a PC game, it's not something I picked up, but it looks great.
It's apparently, well, I don't know if it's coming to PS4 or not, but apparently there is a port coming to Xbox. So
okay,
there you go. There's another reason to buy Xbox. But there'll be some overlays so you can just see the kind of crazy antics. But this game looks
hilarious.
Yeah. It doesn't take itself seriously. Yeah. I mean, there's no other game where you can basically be a goat using a jetpack to fly into a petrol station and blow it up, and then kind of get the Michael Bay achievement.
Yes,
it looks a lot of fun, and
it does look fun.
I'm sure the update will also be full of humour as well. Alright, the final news one. We're rushing through these because we've got, again, similar to last week, we've got a lot of games to talk about.
We do.
So the final one this week, quite an impressive story. Doom 2, 1994 game, pretty old. An individual by the name of Zero Master. I'm guessing that's not his real name, but
it could be now.
It could be. That's a pretty cool name if it is his real name. I'm going to go out on a whim and say it's not though. He has beaten the world record for the fastest time to complete Doom 2 on ultra violence difficulty, the hardest difficulty. He did it in a time of 23 minutes and 3 seconds. Now, that's pretty quick. And if you watch the video...
I've watched the video, or at least most of it, and it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
What was your comment you just said from just watching it?
Just trying to keep up visually, your eyes with what's going on is hard enough. Being the person playing the game, I can't even begin to imagine how tough that is. I mean, this person knows that game so well.
He could play it probably blindfolded.
Where every enemy is, where every doorway and gate is, where every secret is, just everything.
Yeah, it's pretty. It is very, very. It
is.
You know, it's not easy to get a world record. Obviously, you've got to be the best at it. Is there any game that you think you would ever be good enough to like kind of seamlessly do that quick? Is there any game that you've ever, not necessarily that quick, obviously, because the game's long, but is there any game that you, like Ash said, has probably known every single square inch of that map that you could just nail it? Not at world record pace, because none of us are that good at video games.
Yeah.
But you could still pretty much do.
I don't think I've spent that much time in a game.
I got the platinum trophy on Uncharted 2, I think it was, or Uncharted 3 in 4.5 days.
It's a bit longer than 23 minutes.
It is a bit, but then bearing in mind that was only playing evenings. So, I was quite happy with that. I thought that was really quick. In fact, I was a bit disappointed that I couldn't play it anymore because I'd got the platinum trophy and I'd done everything in 4.5 days.
Oh, that is impressive.
That was a bit wasted.
But no, I mean,
in terms of this
was just. There's not really much to talk about other than just well played to Zero Master because, like I said, it's hard to even keep up watching, let alone playing it. And there's obviously been lots of world records on different games. I've seen this one on Half-Life where this guy completed it in under an hour, and I thought that was impressive. But this is very impressive, and I don't think I could ever do anything this good. But I wouldn't want to. Who would pay full price for a game and then complete it in 20 minutes? What's the point?
I think you've got to also bear in mind this person has dedicated a small part of their life to this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he hasn't just picked up not the controller, obviously, because it's a PC game, but not just picked up his keyboard and go, I'm just going to complete this game in under half an hour today.
Yeah. It's a lot harder to speedrun games these days because a lot of them they throw in cutscenes and some of them force them so you can't even skip them.
It's a different kind of.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's a lot harder to like look at a modern game and go, yeah, I'm going to speedrun this.
Yeah,
in the same way, because there's certain factors that you just can't cut down the time on.
Games are a lot more of a cinematic experience now, aren't they? So
yeah.
But no. Well played, and I think that's pretty much it on the news front now. So we can now get into the meaty section and talk about the games. There's some pretty big games this week that we've already mentioned, and we'll be right back in a minute and give you you can give us your opinions. We'll just sit here in silence. Now we will give you our opinions on these games in just a minute. Okay guys, welcome back, and now it's that time of the show where we will talk about this week's game releases. Now it's very similar to last week. This is the second big week in November, which is taken up
one of the biggest. I think one of the biggest weeks of the year.
There's a lot of games out. We're not, again, similar to last week, we're not going to talk about every single game because otherwise we will be here all afternoon. So we're just going to focus on the big AAA games that have come out this week. And first up, it doesn't get much bigger or much more AAA. It's probably even like a quadruple A, if that's such a thing.
It would be.
GTA 5 for PS4 and Xbox One. Now, this is like the fastest selling game of all time, from the PS3, Xbox 360 era. It's come out on the new consoles. At first I was sceptical about exactly how well it would maybe do on the new consoles, because it's not like it's like a year after, isn't it?
And anybody who wanted it would have got it on the previous gen.
Well, how many were sold? Is it like 30 million units or something?
Something ridiculous.
It's a ridiculous number. It's like most people who wanted it have probably bought it.
Most people who had a console probably bought it.
Yeah,
I think is a fair comment.
Yeah,
big game.
But it's obviously introduced the first person view. Now, I've been playing this game quite religiously this week in terms for writing a review. I've put in over 30 hours in 4 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days. Bear in mind I have a full-time job, and I used to have a girlfriend. So it's I'll let you guys speak on it first, because I'm kind of getting almost a bit like kind of worn out on GTA, but it is still an incredible game, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, I've not done a lot this week because of other games that have been out, but I was keen to get it. I really wanted it. I know we all did. I've done my character transfer, which we talked about last week, or during the week rather, off camera. So that was actually fairly easy to do. I was surprised how easy it was able to do that.
That was good, yeah.
Been a couple of issues in terms of getting online. I don't know if that's a generic thing across the board.
I believe that is because they released a patch to sort that out.
There's already been, that's the one thing. There's already been 2 updates this week.
Yeah.
I don't know what the first one was exactly for. It was a day one, but the one they released
it was bug fixes, and now it's
Friday.
Like online.
Was it Friday released? I think maybe Friday or Saturday. There was a second release to fix the online issues, because we all tried to get on Friday night to play.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't let us, which was, it's a shame really, that because the release of online kind of was not successful. I can't think of words today. It was pretty poor, wasn't it? First time around, and they're doing it again now.
I think, to be honest, because of the issues that happened last time, they've been able to turn around and address it a lot quicker.
I think so, yeah.
Because like, if you remember, like when online came out and we all tried to get on together like that first time. Just like time out on Friday night.
Ages.
That was an issue throughout the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like everyone at Rockstar went, weekend, right, see you on Monday. This time round, it's gone, problems. Saturday, there's already a patch in the morning when I logged on to my PS4 download. So they obviously knew what they were looking for this time, as opposed to.
Thing is, they can't afford for bad press, you know.
I don't accept that though. This thing's been out. This platform has existed for a year. They've known that this game has been coming out. It had to work.
Yeah.
It's to make up excuses saying, it's been fixed now and an update. After the patch yesterday, I still tried to get on, and I got into a session, and within 5-10 minutes, I lost connection to it. And there's nothing to do with my internet, because I'm on a wired connection. wired in. You know, everything.
No, you're right.
I was
you're
still
right.
on
You're
PSN.
Right. Yeah.
And we talked about it last week with Halo, and Drive Club had this connectivity. And it's. I'll go back to the yeah. Sorry, I'm
yeah.
It's just disappointing, and
Yeah.
whether it's a day or a month, it will still leave a bad taste in people's mouths.
Yeah.
But the online is awesome. The first person mode. If either of you guys played that extensively,
I have. I've got mixed views in terms of doing missions and walking around. I like the first person.
Yeah.
Driving, I cannot drive for shit first person.
I'm actually enjoying driving.
I cannot do it. I
I'd
crash
rather
into
ride
everything.
like riding on my bike, because
I think the bikes.
I've done more.
Yes.
I've done more sort of like first person stuff online and sort of checking that out and stuff.
Yeah.
Like riding on the bike in first person is awesome.
Yes, I agree.
It really is.
I'm
especially because they've added in the whole like helmet view.
That's really cool.
Like
when you put your helmet on,
you
then
get
you get the tint.
Yeah, tint and the visor. You've got obviously the top and the bottom of the helmet.
And you also,
like
that's a really nice touch on the animation. Is like I was Michael at one point, and he was wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
And that was tinted as well.
Yeah.
And it's just little subtleties like that. It shows that they haven't just chucked the camera in. They have thought about everything.
Yeah, they have.
Which is really nice. And on foot, I think it's really good. I've been playing basically the whole time as the character in first person, but I've been using when you duck into cover, the camera pans out onto third person.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool option that they've got in the settings, that you could choose that. And
it's nice.
But the same as you driving, I find
it's
it's just not so much I crash into everything, but things crash into me. The amount of times I got T-boned at junctions, because obviously I'm not waiting for the lights.
Yeah,
it's a very different experience though, just like walking around, because like I got hit by a car just like walking in the street, and that animation is just like so sort of like full on compared to like your third person view, where it's like get up, kind of thing.
But when you crash a car and like to get the rolling effect, and you don't know which way is up. I mean, it is actually.
I like
really
one
good.
of the things I said to you like the first time I got on was like I got in a jet, just flew up in the air, and like the animation to go from cockpit to just pushing the door out to jumping out into the air, parachute opening.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
That entire sequence.
I haven't seen
awesome.
that. Yeah, I've got to do that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I want to do that.
Parachuting first person.
I want to look at the jumping out of an airplane.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted to see what happens though if you don't open your chute. Like, do you see yourself first person splat onto the pavement?
Oh,
I haven't tried.
I was tempted.
We will have to do that tonight online. I think.
But like everything else, like all the rolling stuff, it's good, and I think even if you played it last time, you will still enjoy it this time round.
It's just a game. It's the only game in history I've never got bored of. In terms of the online.
Yeah.
No, I can't imagine. I mean, even with GTA 4, I mean, how long? We were still playing GTA 4 when GTA 5 came out.
Almost,
Yeah.
We were. I mean, a couple of years. Yeah. So, these games do...
they do have good lasting appeal.
They do. In terms of, your value for money. If you talk about value
I think it's
for
also
money.
the fact it was like, between the three of us, we barely scratched the surface of online stuff.
Exactly. Well,
there's so much to do,
and they're always adding to it. There's always new stuff whenever there's.
Heists are coming soon now.
Apparently, it's going to be in the next proper update.
They did say that. I read that.
That was
as well.
actually said.
We will see.
That
we will see.
Official full-on DLC.
They did say. They said it's pretty much ready. They were just waiting for the re-release and
stability.
Bit crafty.
Guess who called that one?
Right, we'll move on.
Anyway,
otherwise
let's move on to
otherwise this isn't a GTA show.
Well,
so even though a lot of people probably think it is, because we do get caught on a tangent a bit.
We do.
The next big release, Far Cry 4, available for all platforms. This was my most anticipated game of the year. I couldn't wait to play it, and I haven't been able to because I had to review GTA, and I've only played 40 minutes. And it just felt exactly like Far Cry. You guys have obviously played a lot more.
It's amazing.
How is it playing?
I love it.
Yeah, it's like I don't really know what words to give it justice, to be honest.
No, I don't know. I mean, if you played Far Cry 3, it's everything that Far Cry 3 was and more. I mean, I love Far Cry 3, and it's everything that's got. There are, it's following on from Far Cry 4. Not following on, but you know it's the same game. You know
it's been built on those foundations.
It has. So you still got
the mechanics are very much the same, and so.
Absolutely. And you've got these extra things now which you can do. You know, you've got the grappling hook. You've got using elephants as weapons. You've got a few new animals in there.
A few
different
vehicles.
tasks. Yeah, vehicles, tasks. I mean, you know, there is a lot of
the world's pretty huge as well.
The wingsuit. It's quite daunting. If you buy all the maps, I don't know if you bought the maps yet.
No.
If you buy all the maps and look at all the collectibles on the map when you zoom out and you look at it and you just think, wow, this is overwhelming. There is a lot of stuff I've got to get.
Got to get.
Oh, obviously, yeah. Platinum, always.
Yeah.
Well,
That will be
that's
my
it.
next platinum.
I'm not looking to. I'm not playing it with the mindset that I want to platinum it. So I generally just pick stuff up as I find it, and I prefer, even though I see the numbers like you got this many collect this many kind of thing. It's like I don't worry about it. As in, I just think
if you're near
as I come across it, I grab it. And that'll do.
But in terms of gameplay, how it looks, how it feels, it's good. It is really, really good.
Yeah, I really can't wait to play more. And from what I've read online as well, everyone's basically kind of commenting the same as you guys. It's just built on Far Cry 3, and the only thing that's let down is apparently the story is not the best. But
the story isn't the best.
You don't play this game for. I mean, the good story obviously helps, but it's not like The Last of Us where it's all centered around the story.
Yeah,
it's about the location and the exploration and everything within that game.
I mean, I just did a trip up to the Himalayas with some Sherpa, Sherpa.
He might be chirping.
And you're up there in like peak of a mountain. It's blizzard conditions. And it just looks amazing. The feel. You slide on ice or whatever it is.
You get all excited.
It does look really, really
one
good.
of the things I like for the PS4 one is how they've incorporated the use of the touchpad. I don't know if you noticed, for the weapons wheel,
switching weapons
rather than having to hold down the L1 button.
You can
and
just
do
flick
it
across to change weapon.
Do it on the
okay.
map.
So
I didn't realise that at first, and I thought because when I was running, I'm holding down the stick and pushing it forwards, and my thumb's touching the touchpad.
Yeah.
So it's why is it whenever I sprint, my weapons wheel comes up and it goes all buggy? Because I was obviously moving with the other one. So I got completely confused at that at first. I was like,
that's quite.
Is my game gone weird?
No, it's good. And also, when you're on the map view, you can actually sort of like a phone. You can actually expand the map.
Yeah.
out.
So again, you don't have to use a stick, or even if you just want to move around.
Move around the map, you can use the thing on there.
That's cool.
There are a lot of really good things, and also one added thing which didn't feature on Far Cry 3 was the fortresses. Which we should probably talk about because there is a lot more cooperative play now in Far Cry 4 than it was in Far Cry 3. There was one or two cooperative missions in Far Cry 3. Far Cry 4...
It's a different kind of co-op this time,
isn't it? You can literally just bring someone into your game in campaign mode, so you can play campaign mode online or offline. The fortresses, of which there are 4?
I think so.
I think there's 4 in various difficulties. And they're hard. They are hard. If anyone can do these on their own, I mean, I've tried the second hardest one, and there was 2 of us that tried it, and it was difficult. You're talking full on helicopters come in, mines. They're surrounded by mines. You don't know where the mines are. Scoping the place out. I mean, it does take a long time, and it's something you probably need 3 or 4 of you in there surrounding the fortress to really just.
I remember do seeing.
Can you have that many, or is it? Cause
I don't think there's a limit.
I know you could only. I thought you could only call in one player.
I don't know.
Maybe you can call in more.
But I remember them showing these fortresses, and I know they're kind of pretty hard to conquer.
It's hardcore, yeah.
But I can't wait to play the game. It looks amazing. It's reviewing amazing. So the only question is where do you spend your time? Is it GTA? Is it Far Cry? Or is it even Dragon Age Inquisition, which is another game out this week?
Nice segue.
Again, available on all platforms. This game, it's a heavy RPG, and we're not fans of RPGs overly.
I looked at this, and because it's made by BioWare, who made the Mass Effect games, I was watching some of the gameplay stuff, and it just looks like a sort of that medieval fantasy-esque BioWare game, where it does have that same kind of your choices matter and you full-on interaction, and it looks like Mass Effect in a different skin. Not to do it any
Injustice.
injustice or anything like that.
Yeah.
You can
But
say, well, it's got
it
that.
looks like it's made by the same people, and
You know it is, yeah.
I know, like looking at that means it's going to have that sort of depth, which
Oh, what
I
I
like. But I just don't know whether the actual setting itself is what draws me.
No, I mean this game is getting so much praise through like the community. It's reviewing really well. One thing I read yesterday is that like for someone to go from the start of a game to basically roll the credits at the end, it took him 90 hours.
Yeah,
Wow.
that sounds about right.
Which is
compared
like
to those.
that's a lot of hours.
Wow.
So, it looks full of depth. It looks beautiful. You know, being able to try and find all of the dragons to take them down because there's only like 10 of them in the game apparently, and the world is vast.
Yeah.
It does look incredible, and for you, I don't know if it's too late, but for you EA Access members, you could play it on a trial, which means you'd get 6 hours of it on Xbox One. I don't know if that's still there, but if it is, that's probably the best way to test it out. And it just looks really good. And there's not really too much else to say because none of us have played it.
Yeah.
But for anyone that likes RPGs, I think they would like this game.
It's just because of the timing that I haven't got it, really, that's all.
Yeah, it's this month is crazy, and it's about prioritising, isn't it?
It is.
There's certain ones where you just have to let it slide for a
It
little
is.
while and then pick it up during a more dead period.
The games aren't going anywhere. You don't have to buy them on release.
No,
No.
it's true.
Unless you're me, and then you do. I've got like 3 games sitting out there, they're seals.
In wrappers.
Next up, WWE 2K15. We won't say too much about this because we did talk about it a couple of weeks ago, but it's now finally on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yes, it's the latest gen version.
So, anyone out there that wants to play a wrestling game, from what I've read, maybe don't play this one. It's not reviewing very well. Apparently, they haven't really improved on it that much from last year.
No, it's like from what I've read, like the career mode thing is okay in places, but it's got a lot of filler, which apparently it could do without, like because it almost just extends the story mode, which is the career mode thing, a bit too far.
Yeah,
As like it could do without like just the random sort of like matches in between that just mean nothing, and just focus more on key events. But I mean, it's a wrestling game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to love these games.
Same as we say with pretty much any sports game, or in this case, sports entertainment.
It's a sport,
is that
kind of.
every year it's the basics of the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to get these every single year, the SmackDown games on the PlayStation.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Those were awesome. These games, credit where credit's due.
I do get them every now.
As a 2K, 2K are very good at making player models, as they've done in NBA. And this game does look beautiful from what I've seen, but it's just one of those games where if you're a wrestling fan, you'll get it. You'll probably enjoy it. If you're a casual fan that buys one every now and then, maybe this year's isn't the best year to pick it up. That's just what I've read. That's not my opinion because I haven't played it, so I can't comment on it. But there we go. Not really too much else to say. Moving on, just a couple more here. Escape Dead Island for PS3, Xbox 360. We spoke about this game again on an episode when it was coming out. Not reviewing very well at the moment from what's going on the internet. Apparently, it kind of builds itself up and looks like it's going to be great, and then just becomes okay. But the art, I would say, I don't know if you guys have seen much of it, but the artwork on it I think is really cool, and it looks pretty, and it's just a game that we've seen a lot of zombie games.
There has been a lot. I mean, it's been a bit quiet actually the last few weeks, I must admit. I mean, we went through this phase of just having zombie game after zombie game, week after week, and then it just sort of died off a little bit. And
you just wait. You just wait for the Far Cry 4 zombie DLC. It's fine. It's coming.
Yeah, it's gonna come.
We did have Kill All the Zombies last week. It was a PSN game, but we didn't talk about it.
We didn't
because
really talk
had
about it.
everything
That's true. PSN game.
else.
Yeah.
2 more. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. This is not good. I need to power through quick. Watch Dogs for the Wii U.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about this. We did a 10-minute review on Watch Dogs. It was one of our very first episodes, so I'm sure it's full of high quality. And Ash wasn't there, so it was probably entertaining as well. Yeah. But it's a great game, and I'm just happy that the Wii U is actually getting some third-party
support. I agree. I do, and I think that is great for the Wii U.
I think it needs it. I don't think Nintendo exclusives are enough to keep that console going.
No,
well, it's not. You need more.
Yeah,
you the Nintendo exclusives are great.
Yeah,
but if you're only
nothing
getting
knock them,
those,
but
you want all the games as a console owner. You want to play as many
I
games as possible.
want the Wii U to get better and have more games available because I think it's a console that I'd love to have, but I just can't warrant really getting it at the moment.
Yeah. Or maybe this game will change your mind, or maybe not. Last one on the list: Sonic Boom: Rise of a Lyric. So it's weird to me to have a Sonic game on a Nintendo console. Do you not think that's really like, if you go back to like the 90s?
Well, it's the only way to keep Sonic alive, isn't it? At the moment,
it's got to be somewhere, and it's so weird. Like, because those were like, that would be like
they were the rivals.
That would be like the equivalent of getting a Halo on a PlayStation, or having Nathan Drake on Xbox. It's just so weird to see. I mean, I know Sega don't have a console anymore, so they don't have much choice. But if there was one word that you could use to describe Sonic, and don't say goat. No one else gets that. But what would you use to describe Sonic? Can you think of one?
It's like Matt's already asked me this question.
I've already asked.
He knows my answer.
He knows your answer.
Where I'm going.
How would I describe Sonic?
Yeah, with one word. I'll give you a clue. It's not what you're being right now. Never mind. Speed. Would you not? He's a hedgehog. It's all about speed. And this isn't working.
No. See, I was going to say hedgehog, but then I thought that isn't the word you're looking for.
Blue. I wasn't really looking for an answer. I generally wanted to know what you thought, but I thought speed. When I asked Dan thought speed.
I said fast.
Or fast. Yeah. But this game is a platformer, and apparently it's not very fast at all.
Oh, okay.
It just, when I watched it, it looked kind of like a very generic kind of 3D platform game. The first thing I thought was like, that looks similar to kind of like Crash Bandicoot kind of style.
Oh, right. Because I've not seen any of the Sonic Boom and the Rise, actually. I've not actually looked at it.
No, it was a game I only realised was out this week, kind of literally this morning. So that's why I didn't tell you about it.
I've not looked at it, but
it's not. Unfortunately, it's not scoring very well at all. But
see, I like leaving Sonic where Sonic was. I played a Sonic game about a year ago. It was one of the ones.
Dash or something?
Oh yeah, it was one of those. It was on a PS3.
Okay.
I can't remember which one.
I like how you pointed me like I know every single PS3 game.
Yeah, it was on a PS3. Anyway, last year before, and it was just terrible. And I just thought, bring back the old Sonic.
Sonic was great in the 90s, the original Sonics, and they haven't been able to evolve the Sonic franchise the same way Nintendo have successfully evolved Mario. Mm-hmm. You know, they've evolved Mario, and Mario still every year not every year, but every time they come out with a game, it's normally good. But Sonic hasn't been able to find itself in the 3D world. Basically, I think that's what it comes down to.
Like Mario still keeps its side-scrolling look about it. A lot of their games.
Yeah, they do. Some of them go
ventured
3D,
into the 3D stuff, but it's still at its core. It's still got what it was.
It's still a platformer. Basically,
it just updates itself.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's all the games that we're talking about this week. There are far more, but we're not going to go through them. This video's already been too long.
It has, and we could talk a lot more. But
there's been so much to talk about. Just GTA and Far Cry, we obviously always get lost on. So
passionate.
It is our passion. And which game then is your game of the week then? You've got two. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be between the top two because they're the two you've played. They're the ones you're most excited for. But what one?
It's got to be Far Cry. I mean, it could well be my game of the year. So
yeah.
In turn, I'd say Far Cry at the moment. It's the one I'm enjoying more.
That's
GTA. I'll probably get more longevity out of it as a game.
Yeah.
But the one I'm enjoying currently is Far Cry.
Agreed. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Absolutely.
That's still my game that I'm most excited for. Like, I haven't been able to play as much as I would have liked this week, but it's not going anywhere. And if it's anything like Far Cry 3, Far Cry 3 was one of my favourite games, if not my favourite game in 2012. Sorry. And I really can't wait to play Far Cry 4. And if I thought I didn't have a girlfriend after this week, I definitely won't after next week. Because she doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to be playing it all the next week. To say it quietly.
Is it for a review?
Yeah, it's going to be for a review. I've got to play it.
Yeah.
So there we go, guys. That is all of the games for this week. Pretty much it for the show this week. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe. If you want to speak to us about any of the games, alright?
There's a thumbs up.
Oh, thumbs
up.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the like, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to speak to us about any of the news topics or the games this week, we will respond to you. I mean, if you mentioned anything about GTA or Far Cry, even Ash and Dan might speak to you as well, seeing as they love them so much. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Ash, Dan,
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers, Matt.
thank you for your time. And everyone out there, we will see you next Monday.